I was able to catch another really cool game on sale, and this time it's a game called Offworld Trading Company. This game combines Mars colonization with a really interesting strategy where you're essentially playing as a kind of a stock trader slash businessman. This game is awesome for learning how businesses work and how stock trading works, but also is absolutely amazing at presenting this kind of a interesting story of colonization of Mars from a business perspective. Welcome to What the Math. Today we're taking a look at Offworld Trading Company. Now, right off the bat, the game is actually relatively challenging, so you may want to do this first. If you decide to buy this, Learn to Play is a pretty good mission tutorial that teaches you everything about this game. We're going to jump right into either campaign or skirmish so I can show you what this game is like. This is basically a free-for-all where you kind of develop your base the way you see fit, and so there's really no limit to what you can achieve. But I'm actually going to jump into campaign just to kind of show you what this also has in terms of campaign. So there's different difficulties, quite a lot of difficulty choices. I'm just going to go with default for now. You also have different characters you can choose from, and the only main difference between them is that they essentially get some perks and some buildings that they can construct that other people cannot construct. So let's actually select maybe this person here, and as soon as we start, oh, okay, so yeah, we also get to choose the location, I think. Yeah, it gives us the choice of different locations, and essentially here you can kind of customize what buildings you want to have. And let's just jump into the game so I can show you what it's all about. Alright, so when you start the game, this is what you're going to see, and essentially here, your job is to find a good location for your first base. You can use these types of scanners to scan the area and try to discover some of the locations that might be beneficial for you. Okay, so there we go. Let's actually settle somewhere before the enemy does, and I'm going to possibly scan a few more locations here.
Preliminary scans agree this is a great primary location for our new investment.
All right, excellent.
You can count on us.
Thank you, lady. So now this is where the game basically starts. So first of all, you have when you start the game, 5 different claims. This means you can produce 5 different buildings somewhere in this area. You can actually claim or stake your claims by placing them on a certain resource. For example, this, I can actually claim this geothermal vent if I want to produce more energy later, or you can go around the map and try to find the actual resources that you really want to claim, but you need to be strategic about it because you cannot claim everything, and you do want to have the highest possible resource so you can basically then make the most profit. Now, if you're playing in campaign mode, not if you're playing in the skirmish mode, you may want to also look at the kind of buildings you can build, because certain claims will not do anything for you. Like, for example, my particular person, I think, can construct pretty much everything except for wind turbines, which give us a bit of energy, and possibly something else that I can't really see here. So we're going to actually start producing something like metal, for example. So we can actually start getting this silicon here, but let's look for metal because I would like to get as much iron as I can. Alright, it looks like there's a bit of metal right here. We're going to place one of the mines in this vicinity. This will start producing metal for us as soon as we create our mine right here. And you'll notice that this little machine right here, this is actually a delivery thingy for our mine. So it's going to deliver the mine there, and we're going to have metal now. Now we also need energy, so that means we have to produce solar panels. The way the solar panels are placed is based on the location, because obviously you don't get the same amount of sun everywhere. So here it's better to kind of look around and to try to find the best possible solar location. And here we go. This right here gives us like 99.99 energy. So we're gonna place one solar panel right here in the middle, and this will obviously create a solar panel here now. What else do we need? We also need fuel, and to produce fuel we'll need to construct an electrolysis reactor. This will consume a bit of power and a little bit of water, but produce a lot of oxygen and a lot of fuel. We're going to place this somewhere around our base because it doesn't really have to be too far away. And let's actually just place it right here in this location. So now we have 3 claims already made, and we have 2 to go. So we have energy, we have...
Black market is online.
Alright, good. Black market is online. We have water, And we're about to have water in about a few seconds, and we are now about to also have our metal. So there you go, metal is being produced and is going to start being delivered to our base soon. So what else do we need? So you can kind of see what you need by looking at whatever is basically losing you money for you. Energy is going to be produced in a second. Water we're going to produce in our main base.
Scientific colony expanded.
And this will produce energy for us. All right, excellent. Now you'll notice that I started to lose some of my debt. That's because I'm producing enough energy to pay off some of my debt. Or I was before, but not anymore apparently. So now the next step for us is this. We're going to place a water pump right here because I just realized that the water is actually still being decreased. So we're going to make one more water pump for us. And at the same time, we're going to try to produce a little bit more electricity. So because it's nighttime, we don't really produce any more electricity. So we need to produce something else. We need to construct a wind turbine. Well, we can't because in this particular campaign, we don't have the ability to produce them until we purchase a turbine engineer. Now, this will come in time, but not just yet. We also have an ability to produce one more building, so we need to decide what we actually want to produce. Now, I think I want to actually start collecting a little bit more of other metals, like, for example, aluminum. So we're going to produce another mine. I'm going to choose my metal mine and place it right here next to this large aluminum deposit. So this will allow me to now sell aluminum as well. Now, when you get to the point where you have too much stuff, you can start selling it and producing or making yourself a little bit of money. Or if you're lacking something, you can obviously purchase it. I can actually just purchase the silicon right here to give myself a little bit more silicon. Now, I need to start upgrading my base as well. To upgrade my base, it says I need more steel, I need more aluminum, which I'll start producing very soon. And that's about it. So how do we make steel? Steel is produced in the steel mill. And to construct this, we need more iron and we need more power, but we can actually make one right now by placing it. I'm gonna place it actually right here. Oh, and I can't because I totally forgot I don't have enough claims. So that means that we can't really make steel, we have to buy it. We're going to go to the market and buy all of the steel that we need. I think that's enough, right? One more. All right, there we go. We've now purchased enough steel, but we're really low on funds. Let's sell some stuff. And you can see as soon as you start selling things, the actual price goes down because that's obviously the idea of supply and demand. Now, does this sound complicated yet? Yes, it is very complicated and it is very, very, very fun. If you think that's not complicated enough, there's more buttons we're going to explore in a second. Now, let's actually just look at one of them for now. There's one button right here that essentially... this is called a hacker array. When you construct a hacker array, you'll be actually able to fix prices. Like basically you're illegally fixing prices. Like for example, what if I have a bunch of steel I don't need anymore, or a bunch of iron? I have so much iron that I just don't need it, but the price is too low. What I can do is I can actually create an iron shortage for a certain number of money. Like for example, if I were to, let me just see if I can actually do it right now. Can I possibly do it right now? Oh, I can upgrade this now, but I don't want to do this just yet. I just want to actually see if I can possibly create a shortage. No, I can't. Okay, so I do need to have a hacker array to do this. But this would basically suddenly boost the price of iron, which I can then sell. And essentially, this would give me a huge boost in money. You can also do research where... for each of these little production thingies, basically, let's just say I want to produce more steel. I can increase my steel production by doing this research using a laboratory that you can produce. And both the laboratory and hacker array are right here on the bottom, but they're currently locked again because in the campaign mode, you don't really have all of the people to do this. In the skirmish mode, you can do this right away, you just need money. But in the campaign mode, it's a little bit more slow paced, so you do need to kind of pace yourself and try to strategize a little bit better. There's another button right here that has different patents that you can basically research for yourself, and this essentially requires a patent laboratory, which is right here, and these are basically bonuses that stay with you for the entire game. So, like, for example, if I were to research this patent, nanotech, if I get this patent, recycling resources when scrapping buildings will give me a lot more resources if I decide to sell something. So there's a lot of these different patents that essentially allow you to increase your productivity And the last part here is the off-world market, and this is another building that you build later on, which essentially allows you to launch certain amount of stuff. Like, for example, you can launch this iron that you have in surplus to then sell it on Earth for a lot of money. And that's essentially what this game is all about. You're trying to collect a lot of the resources on Mars and then basically sell them back on planet Earth. And this is how you'll be making money later on as you advance through the game in later campaign levels or in later in skirmish levels. But the idea of this game is actually pretty simple. You're playing against these opponents that you're trying to outsmart, outperform, and essentially either buy them all out, which means you can actually purchase the stocks in these companies later on. And I'm going to show it to you a little bit later on if I get to that point. But basically, you can essentially, if you have enough money, you can essentially just buy a part of this company and it will make a little bit of profit for you. You'll actually buy stocks that will then give you a little bit of their dividends from their company, and essentially at some point you'll be able to buy out the entire company and it will become yours. Now there's several ways of winning in this game. One of them is of course buying out other people. There is also a way to basically bankrupt your opponents, and there's quite a variety of different ways you can win through research as well. Now I'm going to upgrade my building and get 5 more claims. Yay, we have 5 more claims and we can now possibly well, first of all, let's collect some money, because we do need money. Sell some water, because we don't need that much. And now we're going to go ahead and build another building that will produce steel for us. Now, if I were to place this here, it's only going to make 0.41 steel. But if I do it this way, I'm going to place a mine here, and then I'm going to place a steel mine here. All right, I was hoping this would actually give me a bit of a bonus, but it didn't. Sometimes, depending on the placement of buildings, you will be getting bonuses from different buildings. All right, so shortage of something. Shortage of everything. That's great. All right, so everything is in shortage, so we can now start selling things really fast because this will allow us to make a lot of money. Let's sell water. Let's sell whatever else we are making, and this will give us a boost of money. So this is one of the random events. I think this event was due to some sort of earthquake. And once in a while you'll have these... oh, okay, so another special event. So once in a while you'll have these special events that will change the way the game plays. This particular event gives us a water pump engineer, which we don't really need, but... no, I'm just gonna close this for now. We don't really need... We don't need a water pump guy. But what we do need is another electrolysis building, which will give us a bit of a bonus if you place it right here. So this will produce more electricity. And I also need to start producing food. And to produce food, we need to place a hydroponic farm. All right, we have one more claim left. And I think I need more energy. So to get more energy, we're going to... okay, we don't have any solar panels left. But we do need to start thinking about how to get either wind turbine or a geothermal plant, because these are super important. Okay, so I'm gonna sell a little bit of resources here, and just so I can construct another solar panel. And we're going to place our solar panel right next to this one, because this will give us a bonus in production of energy. So we've now used up all of our claims again. We can't get any more claims until we upgrade our building. And to upgrade our building, we need more aluminum, more steel, and more glass. That means we have to wait. We just have to wait a little bit until we can essentially start creating more things and selling more things as well. Let's just wait a little bit. And by the time we get to the next day, we should be making enough energy and enough resources. So this is essentially the essence of this game. It's a very, very complex economic simulation. It is a super awesome game, I think. I definitely enjoy playing this. I've played this about 7 or possibly 8 times now, and I've won quite a few times, but it's so easy to lose here, especially if you don't really know what you're doing. But the reason I actually like this is because it is actually such a relatively realistic simulation of how to run a business and how to buy and sell stocks as well. So as you acquire more money, which will happen to us really soon, especially once we start selling more of these things and getting more money, we'll be able to start purchasing shares in these guys' buildings, and then this will obviously allow us to make even more money. And if you want to play really dirty, and if you basically want to win this game really dirty, you can also go into this black market here. And if you look underneath here, it has a bunch of stuff. Like, for example, purchase filthy pirates. Despicable pirates are the scourge of civilization, disrupting peaceful trade and plundering goods. So if you want to disrupt your opponents and, you know, have them suffer from the pirate attacks, you can actually purchase this. You can also purchase other things like Circular Overload, purchase Cook the Books, where you basically are sort of cheating and not reporting the exact income, and basically there's a lot of fraud involved here. And so a lot of these extra abilities are also available to you if you want to play dirty. But depending on how you play, you'll also have certain achievements and also certain penalties. So you don't want to go into this right away. You want to make sure you know what you're doing. Anyway, so as we're progressing through the game, you will obviously start collecting more and more money. You'll start paying off your debt. You'll start acquiring more property, acquiring more patents, for example. You can actually possibly go into some of these extra buildings here and start giving yourself even more bonuses. And if you actually want to explore these right away, you may want to start a skirmish game, because this is not really right away available in the campaign mode. But I think this is definitely a game that I'm going to be enjoying for a really long time, because I kind of like this idea of almost like a Martian land grab, where basically everyone's trying to get the best possible claims, everyone's trying to get the best possible resources and make as much profit as they can while destroying their opponents. Now, this is one of the opponents we have here, and this is probably another one right here. We can actually go through their bases by clicking on their bases, and just to maybe steal some ideas and see what they're actually doing. And oh yeah, wind turbine engineer. Yes, I want that. I don't know if I'll be able to afford this, but let's see if we can maybe sell some stuff, because I want to purchase this guy. Mr. Snappy. No, 16,000. And are we gonna win this? Are we gonna win this? I want this turbine engineer. Yes. Okay, so we won a turbine engineer, which means that we can now construct one wind turbine. We don't really have any claims for it yet, but we can get one by upgrading our building. And as soon as we do that, let's construct a wind turbine, because this will allow us to produce an energy even at night, which is actually very, very important. So now, if I were to place a wind turbine somewhere on these slopes where there's a lot of wind, and let's just place it right here because it's relatively close to us, we will now be able to produce energy at night and then sell it for extra surplus money, which will also obviously decrease our debt. Now, all in all, this is actually a game that is very, very complicated. I think not everyone is going to enjoy this, because it has so much stuff going on at once that sometimes your head will spin. But if you're into, you know, stock trading, if you're into really complex strategy games, or if you like the idea of running a sort of a highly economic business with a lot of things going on, a lot of things being sold and bought, this is probably a game you want to check out, because it's currently actually on sale on Steam. This is where I got it from. And at the same time, it's actually a game that is still being developed, but is already an almost finished product. And here's one more random event. This time it's some sort of a strike. I don't know what this did to us, but I think it didn't do anything good, because something is not working anymore. And the game is actually quite serious in the way it approaches economics as well, because you can see that each of the enemies, including myself, we actually have a rating very similar to how we rate actual companies and actual stocks in real life. So, for example, this guy right here has a AAA rating, which means that he has very, very highly sought after stocks and bonds, and he has a really strong company. This guy has a junk company, and we are somewhere in between with AA rating. You can also look at all kinds of stats here, like, for example, assets and debt, interest rate and total value of the company, and all of this is actually really realistic. If you actually are interested in business and investment and trading, this is awesome. I mean, this is as realistic as it gets. I don't think I've ever played a game that takes it so seriously and includes so much information, so much financial and mathematical analysis, and so much investment stuff all in one. Anyway, so we have another auction coming up, and slow down strike building. Oh no, building workers are on strike. Okay, this is an auction for a new claim. So if I want to get another claim, I may want to purchase this, but I don't really want it. I don't want to claim because I have 5 of my own. But this will obviously give one of the opponents an advantage once they purchase this extra claim. Anyway, so that's basically what this game is like in a nutshell. There's a lot more to it, but I'm not going to spoil it for you just yet. I think you should purchase it and try it yourself. I am possibly going to play through this as a separate Let's Play because this game is brilliant and it's just gonna teach me so much more about business than I already know. Anywho, so thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this little review of a game called Offworld Trading Company. So this is what this game is like in a nutshell. This is what you'll be doing in this game if you play this in either skirmish mode or campaign mode. And obviously this game also has multiplayer where you can play against your friends and opponents online. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Game you later. And please subscribe if you still haven't. Share this video if you've enjoyed it. And like it if you actually liked it. Thank you. Game you later. And bye-bye.